You say hi, guys.
Hi.
What are you doing?
That would make it about a 35.
Yeah,
That was, I thought they were going to snap the ball and get an easy 5 yards, but nobody for the Texans moved. And
I haven't really picked up the camera all that much today because my head has been pounding. And I laid in the bed until almost noon because that's how bad it hurt. And then I came out and watched some really good football games. And now I'm making smothered pork chops for dinner. So this might be like a very short vlog because
I want mashed potatoes.
What, baby?
I want mashed potatoes.
Okay. I'm making them right now, okay?
But you pick it. I just did live.
I know. It doesn't look like mashed potatoes right now, but I guarantee you there will be mashed potatoes for dinner, okay?
I want mashed potatoes.
He wants some mashed potatoes. Oh, another thing. As far as when we are leaving to go a certain somewhere that he has been asking to be, might be on Tuesday instead of Wednesday. We're not sure yet. It just all depends on how things play out. With therapy on Tuesday, we have a few things that if we get stuff done on Tuesday, then we will leave Tuesday evening. If not, we will leave Wednesday. We're trying to avoid leaving Wednesday because the weather is supposed to be really bad on Wednesday. So we'll see. It's very up in the air right now. And Mom, if you're watching, this is what I was talking about, which I'm probably already going to talk to you before you see this, so. It got really cold in our apartment really fast, and I'm going to have to turn the heat on, and that's like no bueno. To go from like hot to cold, blah. Anyways, that's not what I wanted to sit here and talk about. What I did want to sit here and talk to you guys about is a little something not really different. I mean, I've done this little sit down and talk kind of thing before, but I wanted to do something a little short, heartfelt, and to the point. So what I would like to talk about right now is what I am grateful for, or what we are grateful for as me and Rick, being parents of a child on the spectrum. And first and foremost, I would like to say that we are extremely grateful for our friends and our family. The amount of support and love that surrounds us is surprisingly and warmingly welcomed and appreciated. And that's something that I wanted to address, absolutely number one on the top of the list. I can't tell you how grateful we are for our parents and for extended family and friends that are family. We can't thank you guys enough for the amount of love and understanding and support that we have received since the very beginning of us discovering that Ricky was on the spectrum and what we needed to do in order to get him the help that he needed. I mean, everyone has really just rallied around us, and we can't thank you guys enough for the amount of love and support that you have given us during this time. I mean, it has really helped us tremendously throughout all of this. And to some people, parents who have children who are on the spectrum, to those who are upset with family because they don't seem to understand, or upset with friends, I would just have to say, give yourself some space and give them some time for understanding. I mean, I know it's easier said than done. I know how it can be rather offensive to some people when you go to your parents or to your in-laws and tell them that their grandson is on the spectrum, and they say things that you would take offense to. For instance, like some people take offense when someone says, well, he can be cured, or he's going to get better, right? It's easy to hit that sensitivity switch and to automatically go into defensive mode when you hear something like that. But hear me out. I'm not trying to make excuses for anyone, but I would say that for our parents or our aunts and uncles, anyone who is an older generation, they really weren't brought up hearing a lot about something like autism. Yes, it was apparent, but it wasn't highlighted like it is now. There wasn't a lot of research being done as much as there is now. So you have to give them some time. Even say, hey, if you want, I will sit down with you. I will show you facts. I will show you things. I mean, some people like to live in their own little negative bubble. And if it doesn't uplift them in their negative bubble, then they will continue to shun it out and bring it down to a lower level than them. Those type of toxic people, you know, keep your distance, and I'm sorry that you have someone that toxic in your life. But for other people who just don't understand, give them some time too. I mean, it can be disheartening to hear someone that you love try to dismiss what you are saying about your son or your daughter. Just give them that opportunity to understand and to let down that guard of being naive to what you're telling them. I mean, we're all human here, and we're all trying to understand and accept and love people ultimately, hopefully, but just give them that moment. And if you do have that support group, take some time to really tell them thank you. Even if it's just a phone call or a text in a day to ask you if you are okay, just tell them thank you. It goes a long way with the ones that you love. So I am very extremely, first and foremost, grateful for my family and friends who have supported us along the way. The second thing that I am ultimately grateful for, staff at Ricky's school. They have so far been very accommodating, understanding, and transparent for Ricky and for us. I know we are just starting the journey on having him in public education, but so far so good, and I am praying and staying hopeful that we continue down this road of being able to help Ricky along the way. There is a wonderful staff at my son's school that has just been phenomenal from day one. So I'm very appreciative of that, and also very extremely appreciative of the in-home therapists that we have that come in and work with Ricky on a day-to-day basis. I can't thank them enough. If it wasn't for them, Ricky would not have progressed the way that he did. I mean, when I say that this staff is phenomenal, they do a wonderful job. The speech therapist, the occupational therapist, they have done fantastic. They have even surprised themselves at how well Ricky has excelled. And I know that his speech therapist would want to throw back and throw back the appreciation that I'm giving him and say, well, if it wasn't for you reinforcing, well, if it wasn't for him coming in and tirelessly working with my son, I really wouldn't have seen the progress. I mean, his speech therapist is a tremendous person that has done a phenomenal job with Ricky. I mean, I can't even thank him enough for the work that he has tirelessly done for over a year with Ricky. And he wouldn't be where he is right now if it wasn't for those therapists in his life. So I am just extremely, extremely grateful for them. The other thing that I am grateful for, and hear me out, I am really grateful for the hard days. I know a lot of parents that have children on the spectrum, they might look at me like, what? You're grateful for the hard days? Yes. If it wasn't for the difficult days, those days of meltdowns, which happened a lot in the very beginning, it was very, very difficult, we would not be where we are right now. I would not have figured out what works and what doesn't for Ricky. And so you have to be grateful for those bad days. I mean, as hard as it is in that moment to say, oh, I'm so grateful for this. I mean, trust me, there were days that I locked myself in the bathroom, turned on the bath, and just sat there and cried my eyes out because it was difficult. But I had to take those moments to decompress and really reflect on, okay, this is our life. And as difficult as it may be, we have to go through this in order to get to the better times. I have to stay focused on what is going to help Ricky in the long run. What can I do to get him out of a meltdown faster? What can I do that will help me learn the signs that Ricky is going into a meltdown? And for Ricky, it was easy for me because I'm around him pretty much 24/7. It was easy for me to read my son and see when those moments were to happen. But in the very beginning, it was difficult. In the very beginning, I wanted to throw in the towel and give up and say, I don't know how I'm going to be able to do this. And take those moments to really feel that, but then let it go. Try to find a better headspace. Rather, you have to meditate. There's times where I wait until everyone goes to sleep and I will find time to meditate. I will read a book that is self-helping, uplifting, something that really encourages me, even if it's about working on my home-based business. I mean, I can find little tidbits here and there that I can apply to my life that I can say, you know what, this is going to help me in the long run. I pour into myself so that I can overflow and help my son ultimately, if that makes sense. So I am, yes, as tough as that might sound, like, girl, you crazy, I am grateful for those hard moments, because within those hard moments, we wouldn't be where we are right now. And so I'm very, very grateful for that. The last thing that I am grateful for is this platform. I'm grateful that YouTube gives me a platform so that I can raise awareness for anyone on the spectrum. I'm also grateful for the autism community that is within YouTube. If it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be encouraged enough to say, you know what, we're going to put our story out there. We're going to be ones that let it all out so that we can raise awareness, which would give my son some acceptance. I mean, for anything, it is going to help him in the long run. It's going to help people understand in the long run where my son's coming from, like why he does what he does and why he is how he is. There is a family that comes to mind very first and foremost that I have been watching since I started looking on the internet for information and encouragement on going down this road with getting Ricky treatment and help. And they are called Fathering Autism. I will put a link down below in the description box so that you guys can look them up. They are a wonderful family, and I can't thank them enough for encouraging me to put our story out there. So I'm very, very grateful for these things. I know that I can come up with more, but off the top of my head and on a whim, this is what I came up with. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already and you'd like to become a part of the Awesome family, please hit that subscribe button. We'd love to have you. Our ultimate goal and mission is to raise awareness for our children on the spectrum, which ultimately opens the door to acceptance, and that's what we want, and that's what they deserve. If you can get behind that, hit the subscribe button. Once you hit the subscribe button, there'll be a bell button that pops up. It'll let you know when we upload our videos. Hit that bell button so you never miss anything. I love you guys so very much. Thank you guys for watching. I hope that you have a wonderful week. We might be leaving a day early, so I wanted to get something out so that you guys know, hey, I'm grateful for you. I thank you so very much. Be blessed. Have a wonderful Thanksgiving, and we will see you guys later. Bye.